If you're repeating affirmations and you're not getting anywhere, please listen to what I'm about to say. But first, I do want to say that that's probably a good thing, because that means that you're not thinking too small. But when we're talking about manifestation, we're talking about creativity. And if you're not saying those affirmations with your heart and soul, it's almost as if you're not even saying them at all. That's why I want to get into why affirmations won't work and what it really takes to manifest in life. So we're going to talk about how self-love, genuine belief, and proactivity are just the tip of the iceberg when turning dreams into reality. But think about it, an affirmation is just a seed. If you don't nurture that seed with love, belief, and dedication and commitment, that seed is not going to grow. Love is not just a mushy word. It's actually the base of creativity. So the first thing that we have to learn to do for the law of assumption to work is to love ourselves. And I'm not talking about that false confidence or overcompensation for something. That's not real, authentic love. What I mean is a real, genuine love and belief in yourself. And when you look at the people in this world, we can really tell which ones love themselves and which ones don't. Okay, the ones that don't are usually depressed, full of anxiety and all sorts of other problems, maybe self-destructive behavior and things like that. So I want to break this down because I've really been contemplating on this for years, and it's a topic that's been on my mind for quite some time, and I've been paying close attention to a lot of these content creators around here on this topic of manifestation and law of abundance and all this stuff. And I want to offer a new perspective on all this. First of all, what I want to say is this. This is not going to be a marketing manifestation video. I'm not here to sell you anything. Okay? I'm not going to sit in front of a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, or a Rolls Royce coming at you sideways, talking to you like I'm from some moral high ground. No. Listen, I'm just like you. I am trying to get it just like you are. So keep that in mind. And I'm also not going to whisper sweet nothings into your ear and pillow talk you. I could do that to make it sound all nice and fluffy, but there is no meaning in that for me, and that's not the purpose of this video. You can have plenty of other videos to massage your ears with. But until you see through all the shiny material and ego gratification and look into the heart of a person, you'll forever be blinded by the shiny things in life. And there's a lot of people online doing the fluffy talk. I mean, don't get me wrong. The fluffy talk does have its place and it can serve a purpose, but we got to go beyond that sometimes. We can't rely on that. Now, seeing that we understand that the attention-grabbing clickbait isn't really necessary, and it's clear that we do possess the discernment to think without it, now we can move forward. So, here's the real question. How do we understand what self-love actually is? And what role does genuine confidence play in this? Because this leads us to the next step, which is building that confidence so that we can tackle self-sabotage or unconscious blockages. Let me ask you, are you the type of person that already has the confidence to manifest at the level you're professing to? It's not a rhetorical question, but it's just an eye-opening question. Because depending on what level of ideal you want to assume, it takes a certain level of confidence and tenacity. And it just depends on if you're willing to take it there. I would say be eager to take it as far as you can, because people always underestimate how far they can actually go. You really can have anything that you want, but you have to know that sacrifice to one degree or another is going to be necessary. And I think I heard Andy Elliott say, if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. The greater the desire, the greater the sacrifice. So That's why a lot of people cop out of their commitment toward their dreams. And when we face an obstacle that's hard to resolve, the most common way to cop out is to look for an alternative path forward, or even worse, to significantly lessen the dream. Don't do that. We really have to resist that. Resist it with a furious determination and grit. Because this tendency sows the seeds of defeat. We don't want to do that, man. Because the harder the challenge, the harder the opportunity. So I think it's safe to assume staying healthy, staying sharp, and keeping high energy is essential when you're going to be pulling desires into your life. But what about desire? Is it good? Is it bad? That's not the topic at hand. But the truth is that human beings desire for a reason. It is deeply instilled in us for a reason. That's what we're supposed to be doing on this earth. We're supposed to be fulfilling our desires, as long as they are moral and have integrity. But what changes need to happen for us to manifest what we want in life? Because there comes a time where you may recognize and realize that you do need to make a change. But we can really only make a change when we're ready. You can't force somebody to make a change when they're not ready. Oftentimes, something bad has to happen. But when we decide that our dream is really worth it, we don't need a crisis to happen to want to make a change. For example, we don't need to be diagnosed with a self-induced health condition to want to start eating healthy. Instead, we want to eat healthy because we know we're going to have more energy to achieve our desires that way. So when you're ready and you're serious enough to start assuming the change, you might be at a point right now where you realize something needs to change, man. Congratulations, that's a good thing. A lot of people don't even make it to that first step. But what about the people who break out and go further than all the limitations around them? One of the things that they do is less about writing down the changes that they want to see, and actually it's more about the writing down the changes that they want to be, the changes that they want to embody. And the more specific about the self-actualization, the better. So you got to ask yourself questions like this, like, how do you want to be treated by other people? How do you want to carry yourself? What kind of love in relationships do you want in your life? What type of person do you want to be considered as? Like, when people talk about you, what types of things do you want them to say about you? You really got to get molecular with this. You got to ask yourself, how do you want to talk? How do you want to present yourself? How do you want to walk? What does your gait look like? How do you act in everyday pursuits? Like, what are your morals and values? How much resilience do you want to have? Do you want to be cool under pressure? And if so, how much? How cool do you want to be under pressure? That's one of the best things you can have. Are you dignified? Are you set aside for a higher purpose? So, because the people who are successful answer questions like that, they can mentally put themselves in the new place before they're ever there. Whether it's financially, physically, mentally, or spiritually, it doesn't matter. They can do it all. And it really it just comes down to the identity that they want to embody, and then they just run full speed at that identity. But here's where the change starts to happen, because when they're fully committed, they literally kill the old version of themselves. And then they declare that they're the new version. It's going to war on yourself. because the pain of remaining their old self becomes too much to bear. So that's how they move forward relentlessly. Even if they aren't yet the new person that they aspire to be. They go ahead and lie to themselves and they say, yeah, that's the person I am right now. With confidence. They give themselves permission to tell that lie, because to them, it's not a lie. Imposter syndrome is more of a lie. It's a much bigger lie. You want to know why? Because it's going to steal your future from you. You going to let it steal your future? So, the magic happens when these people persist and refuse to compromise. They start acting like the new person who assumes what they want in life. They walk, talk, act, and carry themselves as that new person. They adopt the habits that align with that identity. As their self-confidence and belief grow, they start to go places that they never even thought possible. Because they believe in their future more than they believe in their past. For them, it's literally R.I.P. to that old person that they used to be. Staying the same is not an option. It's non-negotiable. There's no going backwards. And eventually what happens is they fall in love with the new person that they become. And then suddenly, things they once found difficult are now easy. You start to see more of the beauty. But it all starts with their belief and confidence in themselves. For example, it's been said that one of the biggest fears is public speaking. The fear of public speaking is worse than the fear of death for most people. So that means they'd rather be in the casket than be given the eulogy. But check this out. If somebody asked you right now to get ready, you're going to give a speech to 2,000 people or 2,500 people, and you're going to get paid $30,000. Okay? Let's just say $30,000. But the length of your speech needs to be 30 minutes about any topic of your choosing that they give you topics to choose from, and you get to choose, right? Could you honestly and confidently do this speech and kill it without losing your shit? Can you keep your cool? Or are you going to be freaking out? I hope you can keep your cool, because it's a pretty good payday. Think about it. That's about $1,000 a minute. 30 minutes. When you look at some of the most successful people in this world who really actually affirmed how great they were before they were even recognized as being great, you got Muhammad Ali, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Kanye West. All these people, it's very clear that they didn't just say they were going to be great. They actually believed it with every fiber of their being. You see, it's their confidence. It wasn't just talk. These icons didn't just rely on affirmations or the wisdom of other people. They actually embodied their vision, and they took it further. So, I think to truly manifest greatness, we must do more than just follow. We really need to build upon the foundations and push the boundaries of what's possible. And when you think about Neville Goddard, right, his ideas were brilliant, but we can't just keep it at that. We got to go beyond what was laid out before us. Stand on the shoulders of giants, so to speak, and add to what has already been done. Take it further. That's what it's meant to do. That's what we're meant to do as humans. So if you realize that it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a climb. It's gonna be arduous. And realize that most people have already given up on their dreams, and most people will actually give up on their dreams. It doesn't mean you have to. But the reason why they give up on their dreams is because when the going got tough, the tough didn't get going. If you understand that tough people outlast tough times, when the tough times come, you're less likely to give up. So keep pushing, keep shaking things up, pounding the pavement, moving the mountains. Okay? And if you already realize that it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be as easy as just saying an affirmation. That's when you begin to get it. That's when it becomes yours. Because the more you do things that are not easy, the easier they become. But here's the catch. Believing in yourself and loving yourself is just one part of the puzzle. Because the law of assumption doesn't work without the law of action. You've got to take those beliefs and you've got to turn them into bold, decisive actions. Let me explain something to you. If you have 3 people in a room and they all claim to be obsessed with their objective, 2 of them are going to eventually conform to the purpose of who is most obsessed. That's the law of obsession. Those with the strongest passions are the most worthy of their affirmations. Not only through the words that they utter, but the actions that they take. That's the law of assumption in this modern world. This is how we have to do it. We have to approach it this way. Look, I just want people to realize that the law of assumption is nothing without the law of action and the law of obsession. You got to have a heavy bias toward action and a fanatical amount of obsession. You have to be obsessed with taking action, man. You got to have pride in taking action. Being an action taker is something to be proud of. You got to have it so much to the point where failure is fun. Like, you tried, you failed, that was fun. I love getting my hands dirty. This is fun. I love taking my scrapes and bruises. This is fun. This is what I was made for. And you're going to be having fun because you're learning how to not fail next time. And if you do fail next time, that's just another failure closer to succeeding. It's really simple mathematics. If you take enough shots at something, eventually you're going to make it. It's the kind of mathematics that they should have taught us in school in the 1st grade. If you take enough shots, you'll eventually make it, man. You miss all the shots that you don't take, like Wayne Gretzky said. Let me just throw that one in there for good measure. How many shots are we not taking today? This is my motivational speech, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it upbeat. But you gotta have that dichotomy, man. It's not always gonna be upbeat. Sometimes it's gonna be downbeat. You gotta be able to roll with the punches, man. Upbeat, downbeat, left beat, right beat, whatever beat. Master it all. Master all the beats and make music to it. Like you're composing. After all, that's what we're doing in life. To me, life is art. Everything that we do in life is creation. We're creators, we're not robots. Each of us is an original creator, a replica of no one. Remember that. So let me end it with this bit of urgency. Just sitting around and thinking and saying affirmations about what you want without any heart and soul behind it and without any action, it isn't harmless. It can actually be destructive. Every action or lack thereof has an impact. There's no such thing as staying neutral. You're either moving forward or you're falling behind. Stagnation is an illusion. Because even when you think you're not moving, you're losing momentum or missing opportunities. This concept actually runs really deep with many, many layers to it, and not everyone's going to grasp it. But the truth is, choosing to do nothing is still a choice that's going to affect your progress. And every moment that you spend waiting and hesitating, instead of creating, you're drifting further and further away from your destination. And everybody's personal habits shape their fortunes. So it's the little things that you do every day that's going to shape your thinking. The little things that you do every day are going to shape your mental health. They're going to shape your perspective. These things become you over time. Don't think they don't matter. They matter more than you can imagine. And people who are stubborn and don't want to proactively improve by every measure possible are going to end up paying the huge price of their life passing by. So if this inspired you, then I've reached my goal today with this video. But it's extremely difficult to keep following through every day unless you're the healthiest version of yourself and you keep abundant energy. So that's why I created this video here. I'm going to link it on the screen. Watch that video. Let me know what you think. Keep getting to the next level. Keep elevating. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.